Hey everybody! Today we're going to look at how to make manipulatives that students can actually manipulate and also drag and drop in NearPod. So we're going to start off by making the slide that we want in Google Slides. So here I brought up Google and I've started a blank slide. I'm going to start by making some math manipulatives. So I went to the Math App Learning Center to get these 10 frames, and then I just did a snip. And I made two separate ones. I purposely made them two separate ones instead of one single one, so if I want to later just use one, I just have one available. Now we need to make the counters. So I'm going to make the counters by inserting a circle. So I'm just insert shape. Alright, once I'm happy with my counter here, I'm going to make red counters and yellow counters. So one of those is going to end up being my red and the other my yellow. I copied the first one so they're all going to be the same size. Now I just need to format it. Alright, now I have my yellow counters. Now I want 20 of those. Those are the most I would need, so I'm going to make 20. Copy it, and then I'm going to hit Control V to paste it. 3. Alright, so now that I have my 20 counters, I want to put them all together so it almost looks just like one counter, and students can take as many as they need from them. So I'm going to highlight all of them, right-click. I need to align them both horizontally and vertically. So I'm going to align them horizontally. And then I'm going to align them vertically. You can do it in either order. Now it looks like they're all the same. I'm going to move it up here. Now that it's moved here, I can start taking as many as I need out. Then I'm just going to do the same thing with the red one. Now that I have my manipulatives, the next step, of course, is how do I share this on NearPod? What we're going to do is you have to make one slide for every student that you would have. So I would go to my original one. I want to make sure before I copy it, if I want to put a problem in here, like 7 plus blank equals 10, or whatever you want to do, you would want to put that in the slide first. So you just copy that, and then I'm just going to hit Control V. In this case, I made 25. Now, if you're comfortable using Google Slides and you've made NearPods using Google Slides, you can upload to NearPod straight from Google Slides. Otherwise, you can just go into NearPod. So you would, just like you'd create a NearPod, going to add content and activities, and you're going to want to add web content. So it asks for the URL. So all you need to do for that is just highlight the address here. I'm going to copy it, and then paste it right in. That's it. The students now have access to manipulatives that they can move around. If I want to see what it looks like for the students, I'm going to go to, just going to choose live participation. You can also do preview. I'm going to choose Switch to Student View so I can see what it looks like on the student's end. And this is what the students can see. Notice they a logistical consideration that we really need to think about as we're planning on using it. Using it in this way, there is no way for students to only be given access to a single slide. So if a kid, for instance, is number 4, there's nothing stopping that student from going to number 3 and doing the work there. So students can access all the slides, even the slide so students can access all the slides. So that is something to consider. Students can also see the work that everyone else is doing because they can see what's going on all the slides. So notice on slide 4, if I move the red one over, you can see it in slide 4. If I go to slide 3. If I go to slide 2, notice it can be seen in real time by everyone else. So before you deploy this whole class or small group, you're going to want to think about those logistics. You're going to want to think about building routines and procedures around that and talking to your students about it. And you're going to want to think about the age of your students. So this might be something that you want to do in whole class. You might want to start in small group. And if kids are, successful using this in small group, then you might want to move to whole class. It is a logistical consideration to think about as you think about how you are going to use these tools. If you want to make drag and drops or other sort of activities for ELA, you can use the same basic strategy to make a drag and drop. So if you wanted to do that, it would look a little like this. Again, keeping in mind that all students can see and alter all of the slides. So the same considerations around routines and procedures. Do you want to bring this out in whole class to start? Do you want to use it in small group? Just some things to think about like everything else that we use. So that's how you can use NearPod to make drag and drops for both math manipulatives and for ELA.